I don't know if you guys can hear her or not, but say hi to the camera, Noelle. Welcome back, YouTube. Espresso Shucko here, and Veluza aside, I feel like I'm really taking a liking to the grass types for Scarlet and Violet because we just had Scovillain. I just filmed our Balvia. I've already started butchering it. And now, anyways, Brambleghast. Brambleghast. I didn't think I would like the Tumbleweed as much as I do, but I really like this thing. It's Grass Ghost, which means it's immune to both fighting and normal, which is nice. It's got 4 resistances in electric, grass, ground, and water, and then it's weak to dark, fire, flying, ghost, and ice. Um, Brambleghast is really, really frail, and it does have some problems. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I like this thing, but it has problems. Um, but let's take a quick look at its stats first, and I'll get into that afterwards. Also, I think somebody's punt is on my trackpad, so moving might be a little bit more difficult. But anyways, Brambleghast. I cannot emphasize it enough. It is frail. It's got base 55 HP, so without any investment, you're sitting at 130. It does have 115 attack, which is really nice. Base 80 special attack, it's okay. It's okay. You could potentially have a special attacking option, but no, we're not going to go with that. It's got 70 in each of its defenses, and then it's got 90 in speed. 90 is a really nice speed tier. In terms of abilities, Brambleghast gets a brand new ability called Wind Rider, which I think this is what initially drew me to it. If you're hit by a wind move, or if Tailwind begins, you get +1 attack in addition to wind move immunity. So, what's considered a wind move? Well, wind moves here are basically Air Cutter, Bleak Windstorm, which is currently only in Arceus because this is Tornadus' signature move in Legends Arceus. Blizzard is a wind move. Fairy Wind, Gust, Heat Wave, which is big. Hurricane, another big one. Icy Wind. These are all nice moves to be immune to with this Wind Rider because they can do a lot of damage to things, especially whereas Heat Wave is a spread move. Petal Blizzard, we don't really see that often. Sandsear Storm, currently locked to Legends, because that's Landorus's signature move. Sandstorm is an interesting one to keep note of, because, yeah, you might even want to, like, play around with some Sand Team ideas with this, too. I also had to experiment it, but I'm wondering if Sandstream will do the same thing. Because if it does, Hippowdon and Tyranitar, both their stock just went up, in my opinion. Springtide Storm, locked to Arceus, because that's an Amorous. Tailwind, we've already covered. Twister, Whirlwind. Aside from Hariyama, I don't know what else gets Whirlwind in this gen. And then finally, Wild Bolt Storm. And also, if you guys are looking to see this list, it's just right on Cerebi.net. Fantastic website. Basically, if you play Pokemon, you're probably acquainted with Cerebi. But if you're more of a casual player, definitely check out Cerebi.net. Great website. So, anyways, let's get back into Brambleghast. Wind Rider. So with that list there, those are all the moves that we're immune to, and a fair amount of those we're weak to, which is nice. And depending on how you build teams too, chances are you're not doubling up on a type. You're probably not gonna like. Oh wow! Just thinking about this too. Hurricane, Heat Wave, Charizard. That's 2 moves right there that we'd be immune to. But yeah, anyways, chances are you're not doubling up with the same type for coverage unless you're using a really, really specific thing. So Wind Rider could have some surprises there for people. And then Brambleghast's other ability is Infiltrator, which allows it to ignore substitutes, Reflect, Light Screen, Safeguard, Mist, and Aurora Veil. So that is nice too because you don't have to worry about your moves either having reduced power or just straight up not working. In the case of Substitute, because Substitute would take the hit for the target. But anyways, Not bad, but Wind Rider is the main ability you should probably be running on Brambleghast. So, in terms of its move pool, this is part of the problem here, is in terms of its move pool, Brambleghast does not get much. Its Ghost type stab is very limited. It gets Shadow Sneak, it gets Phantom Force, but you're not really getting a good, solid, like, reliable Ghost type stab that you can just fire off consecutively. I mean, you could make the case for priority Shadow Sneak with Terra Ghost, maybe, but Phantom Force, it takes 2 turns to do damage, so it's not like you can fire off consecutive Ghost type moves. There's a lot of Grass type moves in Brambleghast's move pool as well. I think Bullet Seed is probably one of the better ones, unironically, because of the loaded dice. And plus Terra Grass and Bullet Seed is just a fun combination. You're at least guaranteed 4 hits, so there you go. With the loaded dice before Terastallizing into a Grass type, 4 times 25 is 100. You're effectively using a base 100 power move that can potentially go up to 125 before factoring in Stab. And then if you wanted to Terastallize that into Grass, that can be really scary, because now you're looking at base 50, factoring in the Grass type Terra Stab, and then timesing that by 4. So you can go potentially up to 250 if you get all 5 hits of Bullet Seed. So that is fun. Let's just take a quick look at what else Brambleghast does get. There's Phantom Force. We get Rapid Spin. Rapid Spin is not that big for doubles, but it could be good for singles. The nice thing too is in single battles, you could use it as a spin blocker for your opponent, because it's a Ghost type. You could do that. You could like have entry hazards on the field. Your opponent wants to Rapid Spin, you just bring in Brambleghast, and then your opponent can't get the Rapid Spin off, so your entry hazards do stay. You could do that. It gets Seed Bomb, which is a good, solid Grass type attack if you don't want to play with the Bullet Seed odds. It's base 80. It also gets Power Whip, which I did see earlier, which is base 120 with 85 accuracy. So it's a stronger hitting move with less accuracy. So you could pick between the two of those if you wanted to. On the special side, it does get Shadow Ball, which is nice. So you could potentially look into running even a mixed set if you wanted to do Ghost type damage back to back. But because of Wind Rider giving us attack boosts when hit with a wind move or with Tailwind, I kind of don't recommend Shadow Ball in that case. We get Spikes, which is okay more for singles. We get Strength Sap, which Strength Sap, although it can be good, probably not the best for Brambleghast because it's so frail. This is probably much better on our Bolivia. I think, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that video and see how I was pronouncing it just for that alone. But anyways, Strength Sap probably not the best on Brambleghast because we're so frail. We do get Terra Blast, and Terra Blast is going to be something I do recommend on Brambleghast, which we'll just put that in right now. The nice thing is, with Terra Blast, if you wanted to go Terra Ghost, you can get a physical Ghost type attack with Terra Blast, which would take advantage of Wind Rider. And then that way too, you are getting consecutive damage. The downside though is if you've already Terastallized with another Pokemon, you're sitting at a base 80 move. That's normal type. That is the one downside, but it's still not that bad. It would be pretty good. You could throw on Substitute as well, just to try to keep Brambleghast around a little bit longer. You could also run Protect instead of Substitute. Pain Split and Leech Seed are both similar to Strength Sap in this regard, but you could maybe come up with something nasty with Substitute Leech Seed. You could maybe do that. Let's see. What else does Brambleghast have? It gets Confuse Ray. Not really the best. It could be annoying, don't get me wrong. It does get Trailblaze and Pounce, which I do like these moves. They're both TM moves for Brambleghast, because you can increase your own speed with Trailblaze And if you are Terra Grass, you can get your double stab. So you're basically looking at base 100 power with Trailblaze with a guaranteed speed boost. You could potentially do that, and maybe you are going to double up on grass type moves for this one. Maybe you run Bullet Seed, Trailblaze, so now you're fast. Now you're getting really fast Bullet Seeds off. Pounce is nice too because while it is weaker powered, it's a guaranteed speed drop on your opponent. And with Wind Rider's whole gimmick being you're getting a power boost with Tailwind, you're already going to be faster. So maybe you have slower things that still aren't quite outspeeding with Tailwind in the back, or you're playing the long game and trying to get yourself set up for when your Tailwind wears off. You could go for Pounce and then get that guaranteed speed drop into your opponent, which wouldn't be too bad. You do get beat up, so if you're looking at maybe more of a support idea, like maybe you're looking to set off a weakness policy, or you're playing with Rattled, which relies on getting hit by dark type moves, you could go for beat up and then set up a partner Pokemon like that, which I got a video for a specific Rattled Mon in mind for later, but we'll just keep that in the dark for right now. But yeah, anyways, some things that I was thinking about Brambleghast. As far as Terra options go, we can go with Bullet Seed, like I mentioned, with the loaded dice. If we don't want to do that, we could go Terra Ghost, which is literally right above grass, but I don't know why it took me so long to see that. You could go Terra Ghost with Terra Blast for some consecutive ghost type physical damage. You could do that too. You can keep the loaded dice for Bullet Seed if you wanted to, or you could even run a Focus Sash and try to do some damage that way. Definitely an option. You could go Terra Fire, and then that way you're now immune to burns, which is nice. You would need Terra Blast to gain any stab though, because otherwise Brambleghast doesn't have anything. But hey, Flaming Tumbleweed, you could do that. And I actually kind of do like the idea of being burn immune, especially with having all these means of boosting your speed plus gaining your attack through Wind Rider. Terra Dark, same thing as I've been saying for almost everything else. Your Prankster priority move immune. You're not getting a Prankster Thunder Wave to slow you down. That is something there. As far as the rest of the types go, I don't think there's really anything else, because really Dragon, you would need Terra Blast, and there's no real benefit, I think, to going Terra Dragon with Brambleghast. Steel, you're just way too frail to take advantage of all of the resistances. Again, you'd probably need Terra Blast. So really, I think Dark, Fire, Ghost, and Grass are the main types you would want. Now, I have been mentioning Tailwind, so let's talk about some potential setters for Tailwind. No, I don't want Screamtail, I want Tailwind. As far as some Tailwind users go, you could go with Unburdened Drifblim. You're at double speed, you're getting Tailwind up. You could do that. Kilowattrel is a base 125 speed. It's a really reliable Tailwind user. Coincidentally, Kilowattrel has its own wind ability that benefits it from getting a Tailwind up too. It's also faster than Brambleghast with 125, so really, if you're not using a Prankster Tailwind user, Kilowattrel is probably a really good option for Tailwind, because now your base 125, you get your Tailwind up, Brambleghast is pretty much guaranteed to go next. Let's take a quick look. Noivern is another good option. It's base 123, a little slower than Kilowattrel, but same idea. You get up your Tailwind, Brambleghast is basically guaranteed to go next. Let's see who else we got. I'm surprised I didn't see Talonflame. Oh, there we go. There's Talonflame right there. Base 26 plus Gale Wings. If you got Gale Wings up with full HP, you're guaranteed Tailwind as a priority move. If your Gale Wings is broken, you're still fast with 126 speed. You can get that off. Murkrow is another option. It's a Prankster Tailwind user. Definitely something you could look into. Um, and then with Wind Rider 2, you gain an attack boost regardless of if you're hit by a wind move, right? So let's just take a quick look back into Cerebi. Petal Blizzard is another considered a wind move too. You don't see Petal Blizzard very often, but let's just take a quick look at this as a filter. Meowscarada does get it. Meowscarada's fast. Chances are you're probably running Flower Trick on it, but if you go with that Petal Blizzard, especially if Tailwind is already on the field, well, there's another means of raising your attack. Our Balava, there we go, I finally said it right. Our Balava gets it, Florges gets it, Lilligant, Lurantis. We don't really care about Sunflora, but yeah, that's really it. He's swinging Lilligant. That might be fun when that eventually comes around, but yeah, I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, but yeah. Anyways, Petal Blizzard could be fun as an extra means of like self-targeting yourself while still breaking focus sashes on your opponent's side, and you're getting an attack boost. That could be something worth looking into. Anyways, guys, I still managed to stretch this out to the better part of 20 minutes talking about Brambleghast, despite its flaws. So I really cannot iterate it enough. I do like this thing, I really do, and I want to see it work. It's just I think it's got a lot working against it. Anyways, I will see you guys next time with another Pokemon. Bye bye.